Please video like and subscribe this channel. I ruined her dress in the first 3 seconds. Not metaphorically. Not socially. Physically ruined it, tore the fabric, scorched the hem, and splattered it with hydraulic fluid and ash. And instead of ordering my execution, the alien princess looked down at the damage, then up at me, and laughed. That was the moment my life stopped being normal. I was never supposed to be inside the Royal Arrival hangar of Station Aurelian. I was a maintenance contractor, level C clearance, tools-only access, invisible to everyone who mattered. My job that cycle was simple: recalibrate grave lifts and clear debris from the ceremonial platform before a high-profile diplomatic arrival. No one bothered telling me whose arrival. When the alarms went off, I was halfway under a lift column with a plasma wrench in one hand and a mouthful of recycled air that tasted like rust. Unscheduled atmospheric breach, the station AI droned. All non-essential personnel. Too late. The hangar doors opened with a thunderous hiss, and a foreign vessel descended, elegant and luminous, its hull etched with living patterns that pulsed like a heartbeat. The gravity shifted violently. My lift column shuddered. Damn it, I muttered, scrambling out. That's when the stabilizer failed. The column tipped. I lunged to brace it, failed, and watched in horror as it collapsed sideways straight toward the ceremonial platform just as a delegation stepped out of the alien ship. At the center of them was her. The Princess of Elithra. I didn't know her name then. I just knew she wore a gown that looked like woven starlight, translucent layers flowing around her, colors shifting with every movement. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. And it was directly in the path of several 100 kilos of falling machinery. I moved without thinking. I slammed into her from the side, knocking us both off the platform as the column crashed down where she'd been standing moments before. Heat washed over us. Sparks flew. Something exploded. We rolled across the hangar floor, hard. I felt fabric tear under my fingers, smelled scorched fibers, and heard a sharp intake of breath that was not my own. Security weapons came up instantly. "Don't move," someone shouted. I froze, half on top of her, heart pounding so hard I thought it might rupture. Slowly, I looked down. Her gown was ruined. One entire side torn open, the luminous weave darkened and smoking at the edges. Hydraulic fluid stained it in ugly streaks. A ceremonial sash, probably priceless, hung in shreds. I swallowed. I'm so sorry, I said, voice cracking. I didn't mean to. She sat up beneath me. Up close, she was even more unreal. Pale blue skin with faint opalescent patterns along her cheeks and neck. Eyes like molten silver. A delicate crest of crystalline filaments swept back from her temples. She looked down at the wreck of her dress. Then she laughed. Not politely. Not diplomatically. She laughed like someone who had just narrowly escaped death and found the universe absurd. The entire hangar fell silent. Her guards stared in shock. The human security officers looked like they were waiting for orders to shoot me, arrest me, or both. She touched the torn fabric thoughtfully. "Well," she said, her voice musical and calm, "this is certainly a new beginning." I blinked. "You're not angry?" She looked at me, then really looked at me, and smiled. "You saved my life," she said. "Anger would be illogical." Someone behind us whispered, "Did she just say illogical?" The princess stood, brushing ash from her gown. "Release him." My wrists were still in the grip of 2 security officers. "Your Highness," one of her attendants said urgently, "protocol demands." "I am unharmed," she replied. "And alive. That is enough." Her gaze returned to me. "What is your designation, human?" "Ah," I said, brain lagging. "Evan. Evan Hale. Maintenance." She inclined her head. "I am Princess Celira of Elithra." I swallowed hard. Nice to meet you. Sorry about the dress. Her smile widened. I suspect, she said, this will not be the last time you apologize to me. I expected punishment. Interrogation. Fines. Deportation from the station. Something. Instead, 2 hours later, I was standing in a pristine diplomatic chamber, freshly scrubbed, wearing borrowed formal attire that didn't quite fit, staring at a holographic recreation of the ruined dress. Princess Celira stood beside it, hands clasped behind her back. My people consider ceremonial garments sacred, she said. They are grown, not sewn. Each one carries history. I'll pay for it, I blurted. I don't know how, but I will. She tilted her head. You misunderstand. I am not offended. I am intrigued. That was not reassuring. You acted without hesitation, she continued. You placed your body between danger and someone you did not know. Why? I didn't want you to die, I said simply. Her eyes softened. Most give better answers when they have time to think. You did not. She turned to face me fully. Elythran law states that when a life debt is incurred during first contact, the debtor may claim a boon. I felt my stomach drop. That sounds serious. It is, she agreed. And I am claiming mine. Oh no. I want you, she said calmly, to accompany me. Silence. To where? I asked. My homeworld, she said. As my guest. I stared at her. You want to take a maintenance worker to an alien royal court because he ruined your dress. Yes. That's not a normal response. She smiled faintly. Nor was today a normal day. Elythra was nothing like the simulations. The sky shimmered with layered atmospheres, colors bending in ways my human eyes barely processed. Cities rose organically from the land, crystalline towers grown rather than built. Everything hummed alive, resonant. And me. I was the human who ruined the princess's dress. Court whispers followed me everywhere. Some Elythrans were curious. Others openly hostile. A few looked at me with something like pity. Celira, for her part, treated me with unwavering kindness. She explained customs patiently, laughed when I stumbled over etiquette, and never once blamed me for the ruined garment, despite the fact that her replacement gown, though elegant, lacked the living resonance of the original. One evening, as we stood on a balcony overlooking bioluminescent gardens, I finally asked, "Why aren't you angry?" I said. Really? She rested her hands on the railing. Because anger is easy. It costs nothing. Understanding costs more. I hesitated. And the dress? She glanced down at her current attire. That dress represented who I was expected to be. And now? She met my eyes. Now it represents who I might choose to become. That night, I dreamed of falling machinery and silver eyes. The real trouble began when the council intervened. They believe I am compromised, Celira told me quietly. That your presence influences me improperly. Do I? I asked. She smiled sadly. Yes. The council summoned her to answer charges of recklessness and emotional deviation. I was barred from the chamber. Hours passed. When she finally emerged, her expression was composed, but her hands trembled slightly. They have given me a choice, she said. I may sever contact with you and reaffirm tradition, or I may continue this path and relinquish my claim to the throne. My chest tightened. Celira. She raised a hand. Do not speak yet. I must know something. She stepped closer. If I choose you, if I walk away from everything I was raised to become, will you regret saving me? I didn't answer right away. Then I said, I'd ruin 1,000 dresses if it meant you stayed alive. Her breath caught. That night, under Elythra's layered skies, she made her decision. The abdication ceremony was quiet. No anger. No rebellion. Just a princess laying down her future with grace. She wore a simple gown unadorned, human-made fabric among alien finery. It wasn't perfect. But neither was destiny. Later, as we stood together watching twin moons rise, she took my hand. My people will remember me as the princess who chose differently, she said. And you? I asked. She smiled. I will remember the human who ruined my dress and taught me that life is worth more than perfection. I squeezed her hand, heart full. Sometimes, the universe doesn't punish mistakes. Sometimes, it rewards them with a future you never imagined.